The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And today, Crystal, this is a weird day, huh?
I know, it has been a little weird day.
This is kind of weird.
We don't have a guest today, which is it's cool. We had some phenomenal guests in February for Black History Month.
Yes.
But I did go to an event last night, and I will have guests for the rest of the month.
All right.
And Don got some folks lined up that are going to talk about creating wealth, and so we got some people coming in, and I think so we'll be good for the rest of the month. So today we're going to just do some tips and tips about business.
Yes.
And what's going on with my camera? Okay. We're just going to kind of do us, actually. That's what we're going to do.
Sounds good.
So,
every now and again, we got to just, you and I just consult out, radio host out, co-host out, that type of thing. So that's good.
Yeah, because people, we got some valuable information. We got content. And right now, content is big. Yeah. So there's been quite a bit going on. How was your week?
Oh, man, my week, I don't even remember some of the stuff that I did. I just know that I had a lot of deadlines to meet, and I haven't been meeting them, so that's not a good thing.
Nah. Yeah, that's not a good thing.
Not a good thing. I have a lot of clients who are going, where are my certifications? So I'm trying to get those going and trying to close those out. I had a meeting with the Riverside County Black Chamber of Commerce yesterday. And we're
what's the name?
Pepe Jackson,
Pepe
right?
Jackson.
So we're getting ready to do a strategic partnership over there where we're going to help his membership.
Okay.
We're going to team up using Small Biz Pro as a tool that they can use to manage their business. I'm going to help them with some workshops. And he's got a phenomenal marketing person there. And Cammie, Cammie.
Oh, Cammie, okay.
Yeah, she's just amazing. She's helping to turn around that agency over there. So we've got that, and I met with one of my number one clients yesterday. She just bought a new facility. She does auto body repair and painting.
Oh, okay, cool. A woman?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's like one of those occupations that you don't think of a woman running.
Mm-hmm. But there are race car drivers.
Oh,
there are women that are mechanics. There are women that are mechanical engineers.
Oh, yeah.
So, they should have no... And some of them grew up with brothers and fathers that were in that business. So,
and I'm trying to get her on the show next month.
Okay. April,
because you got this month all booked, right?
Well, not yet. You can submit. We got some people that I've sent out invitations for. So if she wants to come in, and that would be good because March is Women's History Month.
Yeah, so I want to get her in so she can talk a little bit about her accomplishments and what she had to go through as a woman in that field. So and she just got a new facility. She just got a few contracts, POs with the county of Riverside, the city of Riverside, so the police department, and who was it? County vehicles. So she repairs them.
Well, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
At least she has consistency for the repair.
So I'm trying to get her 8A certification so she can get some federal contracts.
That'd be good. That'd be great. Yeah, last night when I attended the Black Business Association, the BBA's, a Black History awards dinner, and I was the guest of Edison, Southern California. Edison, our rep, Dennis Thurston, invited us. And so there was a lady there. She's been in business for 10 years, and she has an environmental company, which is not that many.
Is her name Thorne?
Could be, kind of brown skin lady. She's out in Long Beach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she has an environmental company. They've been open for 10 years. So she's celebrating their 10-year anniversary. So she was telling me all the activities and the each organization that she's connected with. They're going to all have some celebratory thing for her. They're going to do she wants the mayor or the councilman for her district to do a seaside tour, a cruise.
That's great. I like that.
So, and there's not that many women that are in an environmental.
No.
So she just finished up a big contract out in the desert where they tore down environmental and demolition.
Yeah.
And they just tore down the jail or prison out there.
Oh, wow.
So that was a big job. So now she's trying. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Women are very tenacious at the things that they do, and there's some stats out there that the businesses that have been started in the last 20 years, majority of them have been women-owned businesses, and
they're stepping into a lot of non-traditional occupations and career fields, which is really amazing.
Yeah, because they're because I mean right now. There's such a push for equality, although I was listening to something that D.L. Hughley said the other day. He said that, sometimes we can get a little too correct. So, women are pushing for equality and be treated like men are treated. He says, but then at the same time, if you're on the Titanic and it's going down, it's like women and children. He's like, no, what happened to the equality bit? So there's two sides to that.
You know what's amazing on that show, The Titanic? There was a dude on there that was going, hey, I don't think these women should be getting off first. What am I?
Right, exactly. So that's
they want equality. That's
right. So if you're asking for equality, sometimes you got to be careful what you ask for, because sometimes that might put you at the back of the bus. You go with children, but women, you want to be just like us. And there's a lot of that right now, because I think I was reading something yesterday that young girls are wanting to participate in sports that have been traditionally for boys. And so this particular young lady was wrestling. And so this young man said, no, I will not wrestle a woman. I will not wrestle a girl. He said some of the positions that we're in is very compromising. And also, I don't want to disrespect that person, and then I don't want to have to be cautious about how I'm treating them. And I'm a boy, so just the given I'm stronger. That's just the fact. And so he said, wrestling is something I do, not something I am. So he forfeited the game, the wrestling match, because he didn't. And so I
agree with him.
Yeah, I think we have to think about those kind of things, because sometimes, wrestling, physically you may be strong enough, but wrestling is a very physical sport, and they're in some positions that could be very uncomfortable for a young man who's been taught by his mother how they're supposed to treat women, and so it goes against the grain. So I don't know. I think. I think there are certain things that women do and certain things that men do that we each should stay in our own lane. I think, and that one is one of them. I don't think girls should play football against boys. No, because I think the injuries could be devastating for a young woman. Because the young men are, they're competitive. So when they go out there, they're not going to hold back. Maybe baseball is fine. Possibly basketball is fine because it's not as physical as football.
Well, I wouldn't mix it too. I wouldn't have women and men playing the same basketball game, because guys can get really physical. Those elbows fly. And
So I don't know, but I just read that the other day, and I think the young man it was on Facebook, and they were getting comments back and forth, and I think the young man made the right decision.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't participate in a wrestling match with a woman either. I mean, just the mere fact that, women, and they've got breasts. We do, but
not like that.
You see what I'm saying?
And a child is still developing. Yeah. So that person, that young lady is still, if she had any, if she, depending on her age, she's still gonna have children, and so those kind of things can be kind of physical. Yeah. That could create some long-term damage. So I think sometimes we take this equality and politically correct, and I can do everything that you can do. No,
I think they should lean a little bit more towards diversity instead of equality. Equality in terms of pay.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's a difference. Yeah, if you're doing the same exact job, for by all means. Right. Because now we've gotten, like you have those individuals that are transgenders and going from men to women, but technically they're still men because they still have high levels of testosterone. And so now you see in track and field that they're winning, but that's not fair.
No,
because they're built differently, and to be in a professional, and you're competing with a person that is still a man but is now being deemed a woman, that's not fair.
No. It's amazing, in the latest Miss World that they had, I think it was 2-3 months ago, they had a guy from Spain who converted over to a female, and he was competing. So that brought a lot of questions in my mind, because when they're on these beauty pageants, they all get in the restroom.
Right, exactly.
Ladies' room together.
Exactly. Or you got to put that particular person in a separate room.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
By themselves.
How does that make you feel? And it's like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think in certain cases we're getting a little too modern. Yeah. And I respect everybody's decisions, but I think when it crosses over where it's compromising other people, it's not fair to compromise one group of people and the other one's not compromised. That's just not right. You got to think about all parties involved.
Especially when the decision is being made by that individual. Now it's impacting all these other folks over here, which had nothing to do with that decision.
Right, exactly. And you want people to live their best life, but not at my inconvenience. Yes. So you gotta have to go I don't know. I got to think about that one. But I do think that it's not fair in track and field for someone that is still in the process. They haven't gone through the full process, and so technically they're still men, and they're competing against women.
But I'm just wondering, though, even if they go through the process, they're still going to be strong. They're still going to be faster.
Well, yeah.
So that's a competitive advantage right there. So
it is.
I don't know.
It's like taking steroids.
Yeah.
Which is, and they're taking steroids because they're taking things to make the transition. So there are drugs involved in that. So I don't know. It's just it's kind of a weird kind of thing. Yeah. But but that's something I read earlier.
They use that skill to make more money for us, then sure. Go ahead, by all means. Make me some money. Right,
exactly. But I don't know. It's just we're living in very peculiar times right now. When the people, I don't know if you caught any of the Michael Cohen and the Congress. I thought it was more riveting than Black Panther myself. I was like, so this guy is like, okay, all hands on deck. The gloves are off, and I am just going for the jugular.
I think this is the first time I've ever seen a witness provided so much information, being so forthcoming.
Oh, everything. He went boxes and dragged out checks and tax returns that everybody been asking.
Let me explain. Do you want me to explain a little bit deeper? A little more? He's like,
I'll tell you anything you want to know. I'm like, go ahead, Mr. Cohen. But it's almost like hey, Greg, hey, Steve, hey, Tracy, welcome, Donna, to the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. It's like he came out of a cult
Yeah.
They debriefed him
Yeah.
for whatever they do, like they do you in the middle when you go on a mission, and then they come back and they
deprogram
you. He's been deprogrammed, and he is just like, okay, I'm sorry. You're right. I was absolutely wrong, and I'm gonna do my time. I was like, okay, this is kind of. In fact, you would have thought he would have been more of an adversary than the Republican Congress. Yeah. They were like fighting and doing everything to call him a liar, but realized the man that employed him for 10 years, he chose him.
That's true.
So
that is true.
That was pretty darn deep, in my opinion.
I'm sure they're going to make a movie on that soon. I'm sure they will.
But I love it when he said, because, I guess because he's an attorney as well. Yeah. He said, so can you guarantee you're not going to write a book? He goes, no. Can you guarantee you're not going to sell your movie rights? No. He like, my law license is gone. Yeah. I am no longer going to be this fixer person. So when I come out of jail, I got to be able to take care of my family. Yeah. So no. I'm not going to guarantee any of that. I'm just going to tell you no.
But I'm thinking, though, somebody may beat him to the punch and just start doing an autobiography.
Biography. Now the amount of... Trump should be like trembling about now because the amount of information Cohen has... He was like deep in. He was
sitting with it.
He was like in the other. Every time something went down, it was discussed with him. So he should be. No wonder that the negotiations went sour because he probably started throwing things.
Oh yeah, because he's thinking, man, I shouldn't be.
I need to get back home.
I need to hear what he's saying.
I can't pay attention to you, Kim Jong.
Because from what I understand, he requested a split screen, and they go, "No, we're not going to give you a split screen." Because he wanted to see what was going on there while he was dealing.
Right, no. So I guess he probably like, I got to get out of here because I know that when I get back, the cops may be waiting. And since Congress is not going to do it, the Southern, what is it? The Southern District of New York, which is, I guess, they sound like they worse than the CIA.
Oh yeah, they say
or MI5 or whatever that is.
Those guys are brutal.
Yeah, because they coming. I mean, he gave up everybody. He just like everybody.
So, I forgot one more. Here's another one over here.
And he's like, okay. And he starts smiling.
Yeah.
And the next day, it was hilarious. He's going, I'm sorry I kept you guys so long. I'm like... Oh my goodness. Now it's like the guy came out from underneath his fog and this is somebody, he's actually likable.
Yeah. That's true. Because nobody liked him before. They hated him because he's this fixer guy, this, break the needs guy. And now all of a sudden they're going, oh, he's so adorable.
How many times did you threaten somebody? I don't know, some 500 times. Yeah. 100 times? No. 50 times? No. Up, keep going up, keep going. 500 times? Yeah, that sounds about right. It was riveting.
Yeah,
it was better. Hey, Candace, it was better than Black Panther. I didn't even leave. I did all my work at home that day. No, got to watch this because I had never seen anything like this.
I know. This is something. But what I'm thinking, somebody's going to try to circumvent him. They do those movies on HBOs and Netflix where somebody created the story. You remember the election in 2000 with George Bush and Gore?
Uh-huh.
And they just get some characters and then they did the movie. And then later on they get the real characters to do. I think somebody's going to go in.
Well, they might be. Yeah, they probably do. But right now, everybody's book. I'm actually listening to... we're talking about Michael Cohen, Candace, and Trump, and how Trump is probably shaking. And he probably is. You know how when you're a kid and you got in trouble,
Yeah.
and it's like, wait till your father gets home.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen when he gets home?
And then you're listening to hear when he's going to show up, right?
Yeah, so that must be the feeling he's having right about now, is wait till your father gets home, because you are in deep poo-poo doo-doo. It's going to be bad, and you may last until you get out, but dude, the Southern District of New York, they're going for, now they got the tax returns.
Oh.
But I'm listening to Andrew McCabe's book.
Yeah.
And he's been doing his, he was the one that was fired like 5 months before his retirement.
Yeah.
And so, he worked for the Bureau.
Was it 5 months or the day before?
The day before.
Yeah, the day
right.
before.
So he had been with the Bureau for 20-something years.
Yeah.
And he's telling his story. He was truly an FBI guy. This is what he wanted to do. So he's first leading up to it. And so the type of person he was, you're listening to him going, nah, this man was on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
And but he was saying he had never met Trump. And the day he met Trump, the first thing he was basically the way Trump speaks in code, which is what Cohen said, that basically is, where's your alliance? Because if you don't have your alliance, we're about to destroy you as well. Yeah. And so he said he went into it with apprehension, but as an FBI guy, you don't show any. You're taught not to do that. And but prior to, he said he had never met him, but Trump went after his wife like 2 years before. So he said he knew who he was, and so basically Trump was saying, he said he used a lot of greats and all of the words that he normally uses, but he said that he just didn't trust him, and the way he spoke to you, you knew that you had to be very cautious around him.
Wow.
Because it's all about him. So it's kind of interesting, and as he's going into depth and interjecting what really was going on in the FBI at the time, that he completely disrupted, because it's all about him. It's all about making.
This is like those soaps, man. As the world turns,
I know.
Like, what's gonna happen tomorrow? I can't wait.
I know. So he comes back on the 6th before he goes into jail. Yeah. But they kept going on. When you're going to jail, I know I'm going to jail. That's why I'm sitting here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what are you threatening me with?
Get as much as you can out of me right now, because I'll be gone next week.
But the interesting thing is, and I guess it is happening for a reason, is the fact that how blatant they are with the racist stuff. I mean, I don't know what planet you are on when you bring out another black person to say, how could he be racist because of this black person? Really?
And on top of that, this Meadows guy, like 2 years before, he was talking smack about Obama.
Yes.
He was talking a lot of smack about, why don't you go back? We're going to make sure he goes back to Kenya or wherever he came from.
Wherever he came from. We're going to get rid of this.
And that's code. That's code for...
You know what the code is for. Right, exactly. And I was listening to, while I was getting my tire, as I was coming down here, Roland Martin on his podcast was talking about in North Carolina, for Black History Month, this school took kids to a cotton field.
What?
And had the kids picking cotton.
What?
And singing songs like they were doing, and you're not loud enough.
Oh, no.
And so the guy that the council person who has just been voted into that office, he was calling the NAACP. The parent, it's like crazy. They're literally in fields picking cotton, just the black ones.
Wow. That is deep, man. What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? And, the more you think people are becoming civilized, is the more it's like they'll take 2 steps forward in civilization and then 10 steps back. It's like, whoa.
Right, exactly. That come from? Exactly. It's just amazing to me, which makes sense how over the years when we look at us black people in business and Black Wall Street and the other it was many Black Wall Streets, how it was truly a deliberate effort. If no matter how far you get up, and I think LeBron said this the other day. He said that even though I am a wealthy man, but if I come off the court and I walk into a store, the salespeople will follow me around just like they do you if you don't have any money. Oprah is the same way. And it's not that you don't know who these people are. Yeah. These are branded individuals. Yeah. So when I was watching, when I saw that movie, The Black Experience, you can see it. We're minding our own business, going about life. You don't want to take care of us? Fine. We will take care of ourselves. And then you're like, no, we don't even want you to do that. We're going to destroy that.
Wow. It was Chris Rock who said that there is no white man on this earth who would be willing to trade places with him.
No.
And he's rich.
Right. But because he could come out of his little cloistered complex. Yeah. And the police called on him. And maybe you got the backwards cop that has never watched television. Yeah. And now they're hauling him off to jail.
Unbelievable.
It's just amazing the stuff that happens, and even the stuff that we don't even see. I was watching something today on one of the cop shows, and this young man had when he was a kid, he had taken his sister's car, his sister's car. The sister called the police. Of course, they picked him up, and he had gone joyriding in a car. But now he's a kid, and he's got a record now, right? Yeah. So now years later, he then gone to barbering school. He then got himself together. He's working with his grandfather at his grandfather's barbershop, trying to be on the straight and narrow. And this agent came up to him, a police officer who was pretending he was undercover, and started bringing him these counterfeit purses and watches, and kept saying, don't you want to do this? And he's like, no. And the guy was so persuasive and so pervasive that he would show up at the movies. So they basically entrapped him to do this. And then he was bringing these loads of stuff to the grandfather's shop. Grandfather knew nothing about it. And then one day, the guy comes, and he's a cop. Right. He comes, and FBI is what he was, because it was a counterfeit merchandise. And then they raid the place. He's sending all these people to come. You got watches. I heard you got tennis shoes. I heard you have this. And so the guy is standing in the shop with all the shoe boxes. And then one of the ones that were saying, do you have the watches, is, I'm from the FBI, you're under arrest. They trapped him. Wow. And then after they did all of that, they went and seized the grandfather's barbershop.
What? Which had nothing to do with it. Wow.
And then the grandfather, then they were like, okay, well, we're going to take you to court in order for you to get your shop back. That means you're going to spend all this unnecessary money. The other young man, they were saying to him, well, we'll do a plea deal. You go to jail for a year and confess that you did this, and we'll only give you a year instead of 10 years. It's like, what the hell?
There's no way I would agree to any of that. No way. Did I tell you the story one time when I live upstate New York in Binghamton? I was coming from New York, and somehow I got lost, and I ended up in Pennsylvania. And I saw this cop, state police, right?
Oh, wow.
So I pulled up behind him to ask him for directions. Oh, man. This guy went off on me. He said, what are you doing in my light? Get out from behind me. Don't you ever stop and ask me questions again. I said, but you're an officer, so I figure if I'm lost, I'm going to ask you. You still talking? Yeah, you're still talking?
Yeah, no.
Oh, man.
We don't
and
ask
he started
cops.
putting his hand on his gun. I said, man, let me get out of here, man, because, it's way out in the boondocks.
Right, exactly.
So he could shoot me and say, hey, I tried to shoot
Yeah,
him or
anything,
something.
because it's your word against
Yes.
his word, and you're out. Yeah, you actually, in fact, the book, the Green Book,
Yeah.
which was the traveling book that we had to use in the South,
Right.
you almost need that today.
Oh, you do.
You
definitely
need that.
do.
In fact, I think there is one that's called the Post Green Book,
Yeah.
and it was from anything from the end, which was in 1960, from 2014 to 2016. They're telling where you should go and how you should drive if you're driving through the South.
Recycling back dollars could put out a book like that.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
it's ridiculous that it's
I know.
in 20,
I know, in
almost 2020,
2019, yeah.
that you
And we're
have
still
to
having
be
to do
cautious where you drive to.
But you know what I'm thinking, though, Crystal? I'm thinking that even 2040, we're still probably going to be dealing with that kind of stuff. It's never going to go away.
It does not
It's
appear,
never gonna
especially
go away.
now that they're so frightened
Yeah.
about there being the minority, which is going to happen one way. It's going to happen because they're not
Yeah.
producing children.
Oh, for sure.
So
Plus, there's so many other ethnicities here. I mean, how are they going to control that?
they can't. Well, they are trying to control that. That's
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
the border crossing and all that sort of stuff. So it's insane. It's insane.
So we're at the bottom of the hour here, Crystal.
Yeah,
and,
we're going to take a quick little
we're
break.
gonna take a quick break, and then when we come back, you've got some great.
I'm going to talk about Women's History Month and what
beautiful.
started it, and we'll talk about some women that have done some amazing things, and that's where we're going to go.
Excellent, excellent. So you're on the Business Zone with
Crystal.
and Gilbert Buchanan. If you want to tune in on our conversation, our titillating conversation, you may call us at 323-293-3375. That's 323-293-3375. This is the Business Zone, where small business opportunity, success, and supply diversity come together. Take a break.
All right.
Small businesses spend more than $500 million each year combined trying to find missing or replace missing paperwork. Hey, small businesses, are you tired of losing out on business opportunities because your paperwork is not in order? And don't you hate having to register in multiple websites just to find a single procurement opportunity that may not even be worth your time? Well, worry no more. Small Biz Pro is the solution to your problems. Small Biz Pro is an all-in-one cloud-based business management, compliance, and procurement assistance software platform that keeps small businesses organized, contract-ready, bank loan-ready, with quick access to procurement opportunities, as well as market research data. Here are some of the features and benefits that you receive when you use Small Biz Pro to run your business daily. Superior record keeping at your fingertips, back office management and compliance, quick access to bids and procurement opportunities in government databases. It allows you to conduct easy market research and gather industry statistics, government certification preparedness and compliance checklists, easy HR and general operations management functionality, bank loan readiness preparation and cash flow management, certified payroll and labor compliance reporting, business dictionary with defined business terms, a cloud-based business management platform that keeps small businesses organized and ready, even nonprofits, business documents securely stored in the cloud, data fully encrypted and protected by triple firewall reinforcements, on-the-spot document retrieval for quick decision-making, bank-level data security for compliance, document expiration alerts and advanced notifications. It uses security restrictions to block out unauthorized users, and much more. Try it out today for only $5 for the first 30 days. What are you waiting for? Go to www.smallbizpro.net and register now, or your competitors will. Small Biz Pro, keeping small businesses organized, business ready, and contract ready.
Paula Hammond designs and develops new biomaterials that improve drug delivery to help fight tumors.
Margot Lee Shetterly wrote the book that brought the history of NASA's hidden figures to light.
Hari Bhimaraju combines her love for technology and innovation to create low-cost tools for the visually impaired. Learn more about these trailblazers during Women's History Month.
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal.
And Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And today we're talking about the tail end of Black History Month. And we want to feature and highlight some of the trailblazers, the women in Black history.
Yeah.
And Crystal has got all of that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Black History Month was just absolutely amazing. And one of the things I love, even today when you go on Facebook, is, people are just sharing so much. Probably the worst thing, best thing for us, the worst thing for others that are wanting us to stay in the dark is Google.
Yeah.
Google is absolutely amazing. So people keep sharing, keep reading. Make sure you comment when people are putting up Black history information or information about our history, and give them comment and feedback and add some of your own, because that's the only way we're going to make changes in this country. Is that, and for ourselves, forget everybody else. If you know where you come from, you are like miles ahead of anybody else. Someone can't stop you if you already know what your worth is. But the other entity that could probably get the least amount of respect is just like Black folks as women.
That's true.
And so Black History Month had its origins as a national celebration in 1981 when Congress passed Public L 9728, which authorized and requested the president to proclaim the week starting from March 7th, 1982 as Women's History Week. And throughout the next 5 years, Congress continued to pass joint resolutions designating a week in March as Women's History Month week. And then in 1987, after being petitioned by the National Women's History Project, Congress passed PL 100-9, which designated the entire month of March in 1987 as Women's History Month. So between 1988 and 1994, they passed additional resolutions requesting and authorizing the president to proclaim the month of March, the month of each year, as Women's History.
And I think that happened right about, not to interrupt you, I think that happened right about the time when they had the Year of the Woman, when they had a big wave of women coming into Congress. That's when you have Barbara Boxer.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I think that happened 92, somewhere
92,
around there.
when we had all of those. That was right, wasn't that with Bush? That was when
just before Clinton.
Just before Clinton.
Yeah.
Because there was so many women, which is probably why Clinton's situation turned out like it was. Yeah. Little did they know somebody was going to come in like 25 times worse than him. But yeah, that probably made a big difference.
Oh yeah.
And now in Congress, things go in reciprocal, right?
Yeah.
So look at the number of women that are in Congress now. And these women, the woman from the Virgin Islands, that girl ain't playing. She was giving cutting, darting eyes. She told the guy she told him on the other day, she says, I got people to get employed. We got to change the economic landscape in the Virgin. I don't have time for this nonsense.
I like that.
But so women, again, we're at that place where women are stepping up and doing some amazing things. So some of the things that I found when you look at, and they have it on this wonderful site. So if anybody's interested in looking to find out what's going on with women, it's on the National Women's History Museum. And so they just have all this incredible history. So they break it down into different categories. And there are exhibits, and there's just a wealth of information. So some of the ones I looked at, they both Black and white, or all women actually. And so there's different things. So we're going to look at students and educators. Rosa Parks, obviously, her biography is there. Hey, Felice, Amelia Earhart, she's there. And let's see who else we got. So these women were doing earth-shattering things. This lady, Ida B. Wells, have you ever read anything about Ida B. Wells?
No, but I've heard a little bit about her.
Yeah, Ida B. Wells she was a prominent journalist, activist, and researcher in the late 19th and early 20th century. And in her lifetime, she battled sexism, racism, and violence. And as a skilled writer, Wells Barrett also used her skills as a journalist to shed light on the conditions of African Americans throughout the South. She was born in Holly Spring, Mississippi on July 16, 1862, and she was born into slavery during the Civil War. And once the war ended, her parents became politically active in the Reconstruction era politics, and her parents instilled into her the importance of education. She enrolled at Rusk College, but was expelled when she started a dispute with the university president. She was a very outspoken woman, and she fought, and she, in 1984, she filed a lawsuit against a train car company in Memphis for unfair treatment. So she believed in fighting for her rights.
Yes.
She was thrown out of first-class trains. So Rosa Parks was not the first woman to refuse to ride at the back of the bus. And despite having a ticket, she won the case on the local level, and the ruling eventually was overturned in federal court. After the lynching of one of her friends, she turned her attention to the white mob violence. She became skeptical about the reasons men were lynched and set out to investigate these cases.
Wow, that's amazing.
And you're thinking in the 1900s.
Right. A lot of people would be afraid to even try to venture out into that. She go,
yeah,
I need to know this.
Yeah, she did boycotts. She traveled internationally. They make it appear that after slavery, our lives were in this little bitty section of the town that was the worst part of everybody's town, and that we were not educated. Yeah. But that's why it's just so amazing for the number of people that fought for things. And she fought for black people. She also fought for women's suffrage. She was one. Let's see. Although she was in Niagara Falls for the founding of the National Association for Advancement of Colored People, her name is not mentioned as the official founder, but she was the official founder.
That's interesting. That is interesting. I can't believe that even today, because they know we're going to read this up. They know we're going to find out this data. So at least they have a chance to modify it a little bit and say, well, we may have overlooked this over the years, but here's the accurate information. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, overlook.
Yeah,
wink, wink.
Exactly. And we're willing to give them a pass on that.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, unbelievable, man.
But yeah, it is unbelievable because women as well. Women, I know when I've seen movies about women who, especially the women that fought for women's suffrage, they took them through a lot. They treated them just as bad as they treated black people because women are not supposed to have a voice either.
No, because they used to beat them too. They were property of these men.
Right.
They're property.
Yeah. And I think they couldn't vote.
Buy land.
They couldn't buy land. They were owned. Yeah. Prior to marriage, they were owned by their fathers. Yeah. And then when the father gave permission for them to get married, then they were owned by their husbands. And even in other countries now, in India, in Pakistan, and in Saudi Arabia, women are fighting for their rights, that they have a voice. And what's amazing to me is, without the woman, there's no children. Because somebody's housing the children.
There's no children. There's no household. There's no budget in the household.
There's no cooking. There's no eating.
I know. And look at some of these athletes. When they win a championship, who's the first person they're thanking?
Yeah,
their mom.
Their mom. Yeah, they came, and that's what's amazing, that a woman gave birth to them. Yeah. They would not be here if it wasn't for a woman, but she is so underappreciated. Wow. And you see it at work. Women don't get paid, and they probably work harder, and in some cases the exact same job, and they don't get paid. So it's an interesting thing, and it's predominantly, well, in America, it's predominantly white men that feel that they're the keeper of the people. But then if you go to other countries, it's the same thing, Japan and
I always have this one question, Crystal, and maybe you can help me with this. So, in society, they feel like black men are very aggressive, and they're threatening.
Yes.
Well, black women are wonderful. They're not threatening. They're easy to work with, and we rather give them an opportunity than the black man. Why do you think that is?
Because I think they still feel that they can. She's more easily manipulative. They think when you have a black woman that is real strong, and looks play a lot. Even people say that looks have nothing to do with anything. Yeah, it does. So if say a black woman is not as attractive, she's not having an easy time. But if it's like they see certain people as more threatening than others, right? Yeah. And so generally, the darker the skin, the more threatening that.
I wonder why that is.
Well, because that would have been that would have been the Africans. They would have been dark, and they had to control them, right?
Wow.
But when they see a woman, a black woman who's attractive, I think something overrides that, just like with some women, they override, and so they'll go, okay. And if she's got a nice demeanor, they might not feel threatened. But in actuality, she probably is more threatening than he is.
Yeah.
Because she already knows, or you guys already know, that you got to step with caution when you're interacting, and you got to figure out how to navigate in that world, right? She can just come off with an ease that would make them innocent and make them feel comfortable, but at the same time doing what she's doing. There's I don't know if you saw, and they took it off because it was just too real, and people were like, "Whoa, no!" But Underground Railroad, it was the new adaptation.
I remember that.
So there, in the second year, the mother was trying to protect her children. So she was having an affair with the slave owner, and he, but she was controlling him. So in actuality, the slave plantation owner, the male, wasn't the real danger, because the black women knew how to control him, and they usually used sex to make that happen, and they fed him. Yeah. The one that was the danger was the white women, because they knew what their husbands were doing, and they couldn't fight him back. So then they were super cruel to the women and children. So a lot of times, but I know there was a scene in that, and I'm sure the next year they took it off. There was a scene in that, and because he was so weak, he was not protecting, and it was his son and his daughter that she gave birth to his kids. And so his wife was out for blood. And so she was sending her baby boy out to the fields. Right. And she was going to take the daughter and sell her to another plantation. And so he beat their own daughter. And so the mother is like, okay, no, this ain't happening. And so she killed him. And she goes, I'm going to burn in hell, but you go in there before I get there. Because you were supposed to protect our children. It's like, and that was all the drama. Just to think, when you really think of what we had to go through just to stay, for us to be here, you and I to be here, especially us in America, for us to be here, what our ancestors had to go through, for us to believe. Now, I don't know, in the islands, I think here we were in more congested, and you had more white folks to deal with. Whereas I think in the islands, it was very far and in between the plantations. It wasn't like you were having, it might take 2-3 days to get to a plantation and keep the rhetoric going. But in America, the plantations could be next door.
I was very, taken aback about that. And even with Sojourner's Truth, she's light skinned too. Mm-hmm. So she got away with a lot because they didn't take her seriously when they're hearing about the Underground Railroad and she's, gathering up all these slaves and helping them to escape.
But Harriet Tubman was not an attractive woman, so she stayed out of the way.
Yeah.
She wasn't visual, so they could see her.
They could have killed her quickly.
And I learned something recently, and this is why I say our history now and the women in our history. So the cornrows those were maps.
Oh, really?
When you see the different patterns of cornrows on a woman's head, those were maps telling you routes to go through.
Wow.
Yeah, I read that. So there's so many different patterns. Yeah. So it would tell you where the rivers were. Yeah. It would tell you where danger was.
Wow. And so if it goes from here to here, then hey, there's a river right here.
Yeah, and you see the streams because that's where the parts are. Yeah. Or you see where the forests were, or something of that nature. Wow. That was to give direction, and even the Negro spiritual songs that they sang. So when Harriet Tubman was taking people through the Underground Railroad, in order to find the clues, it was hidden in the biblical verses.
Right.
And it was also in the songs.
Yes.
Down by the river is those kind of songs were telling you what you could do and what you could not do.
Because, in Jamaica, it was the same thing, too. Because, of course, they didn't want us to gather. You couldn't have 2 or more people.
Right.
And you couldn't talk to each other.
Right.
But then we made songs. And we made songs. That's how patois came into being.
Right.
Because we didn't want to speak their language, which is English. And they told us we couldn't speak African.
Uh-huh.
So we came up with patois, which is in the crossover between the two. So they're going, what the heck are they saying? Well, I know it's not African, and I know it's not English, so it's the same thing. So they would sing, and then they would sing like, yeah, dawn is coming. And, they continue that, and you go, okay, all right, dawn is coming. Let's get ready for that. She's not armed. So
right, exactly.
That's exactly how they do it.
Right. So, and now I think I mentioned to you recently, I read something where they want to abolish the patois in the islands. Yeah, they don't want anybody.
That's never going to happen. That's never going to happen.
I guess you guys are communicating with each other.
If they remember what the Maroons did to them, they will never even try that. They'll never, because you got a younger version of the Maroons right now that these guys, they don't care, man. They don't care.
Yeah, I would imagine so. But yeah, they want to get rid of it. In fact, it was so funny when I read that, and then I was speaking to someone the other day, and they were saying, because we were talking about right after the riots in L.A., how when you think back, how the Koreans were able to mobilize so quickly. Yeah. And they were able to do that for 2 reasons. One, they have a native language that they can speak to each other and nobody else knows what they're saying. And 2, they have their own networks. So this guy was saying, he says, we need our own language. Yeah. So that no one will understand what we're talking about.
Yeah. And see, when my ex, one of the things that I said to her, and she laughed, she thought it was funny, but I was serious, and I said, we need to establish certain codes. So if you get abducted and they have you call me and you use that code, then I know what's going on. I know that, you're either in distress or, something bad happened to you. She thought it was funny.
Yeah, no.
But that's what used to happen back in the day. Exactly. That's what used to happen back in the day. And if you notice families that, they kidnap them and all of that, it's very critical for you to have code words. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly.
So when you're speaking to your partner or your family member, they have an idea the level of danger that you're in. And it's the same thing that happened to us back in slavery,
right?
And all
exactly.
Of that.
You had to use you had to use a code word so that the slave masters and definitely the overseers did not understand what you were doing or saying.
Yeah.
And even when they were in the field, even though we thought, how could they stand by, which they didn't have much choice, and watch them beat another person? But at the same time, they were sending messages with their eyes and gestures that they were making because they couldn't speak.
And even you said this on the show previously, that the women, the black women, because they didn't want harm to come to their sons by the owners, they would tell them to agree to certain things or, be subdued about certain things just so that, they don't get killed or get beaten or get sold somewhere else.
And that was really the biggest issue, is that did not want your children to be sold. Because, even today, when you think about it, and that's what I think about after I did my Ancestry.com, and what it does is it pulls in everybody with that DNA strand, and then I look on, and you're going, wow, how many of these individuals? Because I think on the plantation where my great grandmother was, I think I've read that there was like 150 slaves.
Wow.
So with that 150 slaves, that means either the slave owner, and he had 3 sons, that they were going down to the slave quarters where the women were.
Yeah.
And so, but let's say the one that impregnated my great-great-grandmother, how many others? On that plantation, and then how many of them were sold off, which means, so when I look at it, it's like over 1,000 connections for me. And that's both parents. So you have to go, it was like, okay, whoever they felt like sleeping with that night, which means that we have a lot of relatives out there.
And the thing that really got me, and I told a lot of people this, I said, I could never be a slave, because there's no way I'm going to be sitting on they call it a veranda at the time. So you sit on the porch, they call it a veranda. You're sitting on the porch with your family, and this dude comes up, walk past you on that veranda, goes into your bedroom with your sister, your daughter, your wife, or whatever, do whatever he wants, and then he comes out, adjusting his pants and looking at you. So, what you got to say about that boy? It was like,
yeah, you would have died. And that happened a lot, because you saw that in Roots, you saw that in all those. So it's just the stuff. And when we look at how did we manage to survive that, and then on the other side of that, create these amazing businesses, and they ask questions like, why can't we get ahead? Because you won't let us.
It's like they put you in a situation, right? Like put you out in the desert, no shoes. And say, run. How come you're not running fast?
Right, exactly. How come you're not pulling yourself up by a bootstrap and making stuff happen? And then when we do pull ourselves up by a bootstrap, then you come along and you knock it out from underneath us. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's and then women have even worse. I mean, being a black woman or a minority woman, and because look at right now what they're doing to the Hispanic population. What mother today, if they came and took your children and put you on and locked you up and then let you out, sent you back to your country and kept your children?
That's crazy.
I don't even know how you do that.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It really is crazy. So we just have to, but I think the one thing I do think with the black and the brown is that even though they try to keep us divided, that is very important, especially those of us that maybe speak Spanish, but our ancestry is of African descent. We have to come together.
I say this over and over, Crystal. Every time I'm on the show or in a workshop, I say it. Latinos, 39%. African American, 12%. You add that together, what do you get? You get 51%. That means we're dominant. So why can't we come together and make this happen?
Right,
You
exactly.
see what I'm saying?
And then look at the Spanish that are actually black.
Yeah.
Because if you're coming from an island,
Yes.
if you're coming from Brazil, you're coming from Venezuela, Panama,
Dominican Republic, you see what I'm
Colombia,
saying?
Nicaragua, Guatemala, and you're black.
Yes.
Because that's where the ships came through.
That's my
They
point.
may have diluted your color out that you look like you're not black, but that was deliberate. The Spanish, their goal was to make sure that they impregnated and they created a cycle to dilute the color. But the grandparentage, the great-great-grandparents, is...
They can never stop that. They can never stop who we are, what we're about, where we came from, and where we're going.
Yeah, exactly. So we have to give homage, and it's kind of cool that Black History is February, and then Women History is the next month, because we have to give homage to both, and understanding that the obstacles that we've all encountered is really tremendous. So for those that have risen above all that and have done some amazing things and made some amazing impacts in our world, I take my hat off to you.
Much respect.
Much respect, because it's something else.
Even you, Crystal, I mean, you're doing some phenomenal things in the community. I mean, some people may not know about it, but you're doing some amazing things with the organization that you are executive director for. You know, you're bringing people together. You're bringing awareness to folks. You know, just think about it this way. If you were not doing that, how would your population know a lot more about what you're offering? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They wouldn't know, because, you know, you probably would be somewhere else doing something differently. But because of your contributions, a lot of these people, they know stuff. Some of them may not even knew who Muhammad was. You bring that to the forefront.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And you keep those things alive as you go along.
And it's funny, because I had that conversation today with a young lady that's doing some stuff that I met her at the Coalition of 100 Black Women. And we were talking about that, and she's Ethiopian.
Yeah.
And I was telling her, it feels like there's something up, all the chaos is up here, but down here is some stuff that's taking place. And there are people who have, you know, we actually know what our purpose is, and we're making some, and she was saying the same thing. She goes, in the last year, she's been connected and asked to sit on different financial committees that will bridge the African, and she's Ethiopian, the African continent and Ethiopia, and then the Black people here. And Maxine Waters has asked for her to come sit on some panels. So there's some stuff going on. Those of us that are working, and that's what it requires. You got to have people that are in the trenches,
Takes a
boots
village.
on the ground,
Takes a village.
And you got to choose the space that you feel that you can make the biggest impact in, because that's what it takes. And because I've always worked with children, and I love my people, and I just think it's very, very important that we are able to do that.
Well, if I haven't said it before, or if I said it too little, I want to say it today. We truly appreciate you. We appreciate your contributions. You're doing a phenomenal job, and we just want to continuously support you so you can achieve your desired objective.
Thank you very much. And with that, I guess we should go to break.
With that being said, we'll go ahead and take a break. We're at the top of the hour. And those of you who are listening to the Business Zone, go ahead, give us a call. Give us your opinion. Share a little bit of insight with us. If we're saying things that you don't agree with, that you don't think is right, just call us and correct us. Okay?
Yeah, this is that kind of conversation we need. We want your feedback. So
That's
give us
right.
a call. Any of those on Facebook, you can call us at 323-293-3375.
That's right.
All right, we're going out for a break.
Take a break.
All right.
Small businesses spend more than $500 million each year combined trying to find missing or replace missing paperwork. Hey, small businesses, are you tired of losing out on business opportunities because your paperwork is not in order? And don't you hate having to register in multiple websites just to find a single procurement opportunity that may not even be worth your time? Well, worry no more. Small Biz Pro is the solution to your problems. Small Biz Pro is an all-in-one cloud-based business management, compliance, and procurement assistance software platform that keeps small businesses organized, contract-ready, bank loan-ready, with quick access to procurement opportunities, as well as market research data. Here are some of the features and benefits that you receive when you use Small Biz Pro to run your business daily. Superior record keeping at your fingertips. Back office management and compliance. Quick access to bids and procurement opportunities in government databases. It allows you to conduct easy market research and gather industry statistics. Government certification preparedness and compliance checklists. Easy HR and general operations management functionality. Bank loan readiness preparation and cash flow management. Certified payroll and labor compliance reporting. Business dictionary with defined business terms. A cloud-based business management platform that keeps small businesses organized and ready, even nonprofits. Business documents securely stored in the cloud. Data fully encrypted and protected by triple firewall reinforcements. On-the-spot document retrieval for quick decision-making. Bank-level data security for compliance. Document expiration alerts and advanced notifications. It uses security restrictions to block out unauthorized users, and much more. Try it out today for only $5 for the first 30 days. What are you waiting for? Go to www.smallbizpro.net and register now, or your competitors will. Small Biz Pro, keeping small businesses organized, business ready, and contract ready.
Paula Hammond designs and develops new biomaterials that improve drug delivery to help fight tumors.
Margot Lee Shetterly wrote the book that brought the history of NASA's hidden figures to light.
Hari Bhimaraju combines her love for technology and innovation to create low-cost tools for the visually impaired. Learn more about these trailblazers during Women's History Month.
So we're back on the Business Zone, and we've been talking about some wonderful thing about wonderful women. And Crystal had so many great, insightful information. Crystal, I could just sit here and listen to you all day.
You know what? But I am surrounded by women that, especially in the space of the giving and the sharing, and we do it in our different spaces. And I've been very blessed. I'm surrounded by women that are doing some amazing things. Mm-hmm. They don't get the accolades or the honors all the time.
Yeah.
But when I go out and I see some women, like last night I was at the BBA. And there was a woman, her name is Gwen Moore.
Yeah.
And I've seen Gwen at the BBA events all the time. I had never met her. I met her once,
she's
but
kind of short lady.
I
know. Oh, she's that powerful.
That lady has written all of these legislative.
Yes.
So the bathrooms that are in the supermarkets,
yeah,
that was her bill.
Really?
And there's and she was just naming them last night. I'm thinking, oh, those are the things that make our life regularly normal. Yeah, there's some women out there that are doing some...
Not too many people know how powerful that woman is.
No, because she's very quiet. She's behind the scenes. And that's what happens. A lot of times they're behind the scenes and not out on the forefront. But Miss Dawn over here, she is one of the things, in addition to... She's a motivational speaker. She's been running her business for 17 years. She is... inside and out about your nutrition, about your health. But in addition to that, this is a woman that when I first went to her class, after Zumba, she would pray with everybody. Oh. And she would call each one of them out and give them their own separate prayer and wishing them fruitfulness and health and wellness. And so I didn't know her at that time. Yeah. So I'm thinking, this is different. Yeah.
Now she's my bestie and She loves me.
And now it's just, I expect that to happen, but she also spends a lot of time uplifting women.
That's good.
And she's very devoted to the Word and God, and that's actually a major part of who she is.
Yes, it is.
So maybe we should talk about what she's planning on doing this weekend.
Well,
yes, what are you doing this weekend, dear?
This Sunday, I will be sharing the Word of God with at Word of Encouragement Church.
Okay.
Where's that church?
It is located downtown. I will give you the address. So I will be speaking at the 9 o'clock service for none other than Miss Najuma Pollard Smith. She is amazing woman of God. She's one of my mentors. So she's given me the opportunity to honor God and to share some of the stuff that He put in me. So I'm excited. I love the Word.
So have you written out your message that you're doing?
I am ready.
You're ready? You want to? Can you tell us a little bit of the topic?
Well, interesting enough, what's funny is this. What's been really funny is I hear people say that when they share the Word that you learn the message first, right?
Yes.
So you're doing the opposite.
I am learning my own message. My own life right now is being, I love you too, Cheryl, and happy birthday, Sydney, Facebook family. I have been learning my message. One of the hardest things to do in life is to wait. And guess what? We spend most of our time waiting than anything in the world.
That's right.
We wait on everything. So, God's teaching me how to trust Him.
That's good.
In my waiting process.
Yeah, sometimes that's hard. You want something to happen so badly.
I've been waiting for my husband for about, 15, 16 years now.
Yeah.
Where is he?
But
at this point, I'm about to give up on the wait. No, I'm just
next door to you and you don't even know it.
But we have to wait for God to deliver, certain blessings, and especially when He has a plan for us in our lives.
Right.
Sometimes and it doesn't happen overnight.
Never does.
And I was just talking to a friend of mine, and we're honoring the nonprofit that I sit on the board. We're honoring this guy who has probably made sure more young black women at UCLA have gone into the tennis world than anybody. Wow. And he just was honored for he's been doing this for like 25 years. Wow. He was honored for the first time.
Wow.
And then we're honoring him as well as a living legend. But sometimes you're doing the work. It's not that you expect it, but you're doing the work, and you're like, okay, God, when is it coming? When is it coming? And you can't rush Him because He's going to do it in His time.
Right. And His time is always perfect. That's the truth of His Word.
Yeah. Right. And we're always pushing
and you know what? And it's think about it. We're always in a hurry for something, and then when it gets here, it's like, it's perfect timing, right?
Right, exactly.
It's like the wait was worth it.
Yeah.
But isn't that because we may want it, but we may not be ready to receive it?
That's true. Sometimes
and it's not just us.
Ready, but we're not.
Yeah, that's one aspect definitely. And sometimes God has to get those surroundings around you ready for you.
So even like with Small Biz Pro, you may be ready, but He's trying to bring everything to make sure
and
that.
You know what's amazing? I think about that all the time. I say, you know what? Maybe I'm here pushing all of this stuff, and He's not ready.
And sometimes it's not about you. Remember, your life is part of a bigger design.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sometimes God is He's using you for someone else, and we think we're always the one.
Yeah.
But we got to remember God is sovereign. He knows what He's doing. And it's about His plan for this world, not ours.
Right.
Yeah.
And even we have said this before, that even though I may be thinking that Small Bistro is going to be that ticket for me,
right.
It may not be.
It
may be us doing a program at the church.
Else.
Right,
absolutely.
Because we don't know what the vehicle or who the vehicle is that He's going to use to help you. It's like you feel, some people think it's just a coincidence being in the right place at the right time, but it is really God's place and timing.
Absolutely. He orchestrates everything.
Right, exactly.
And the good news is He uses everything we go through. Yeah. He says in all things He's at work together for the good of those who love Him, who are called according to His purpose. So He doesn't waste anything. He uses every aspect of our lives, our heartaches, our disappointments, all those things to work for our good and His glory.
Right.
That's the gospel that I love. Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Y'all about to make me preach before the preach.
So how many people are you going to speak in front of on Sunday?
I have no idea. This is the thing. I'm going to speak in front of whoever's in the room, but I'm speaking to an audience of one.
Yeah.
My focus is to give God my absolute best, to be well ready, and then for him to allow the Holy Spirit to do his work.
But you've spoken to larger crowds as a motivational speaker.
Yeah, that's totally different. Okay, listen, it's crazy different because motivational speaking is different. It's no comparison. A lot of things that are said motivationally actually completely contradict the Word of God. There's a quote, and I said in my talk, there's a quote that I absolutely love. It says, ask for help, not because you are weak, but ask for help so that you can remain strong.
Right.
Powerful quote. Love it. But guess what? That's totally opposite to God's word. God says when you think that you can do something in your own strength is when you are disqualified for the help that he gives. Because God says that his strength is made perfect in your weakness. Come on, somebody.
So you see what I'm hearing right now? That's what you're going to be talking about on Sunday.
That's what I'm talking about on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's the only time when it's okay to be feeling kind of inadequate.
Yeah.
It's okay to feel as though you don't know what you're doing or, you know.
Well, that's because that's when he's using.
That's when you're actually at your best, when you're able to get out the way. So I am nervous. The young lady asked me, she said, Dawn, why are you not telling people? I didn't want to put up a flyer.
Why not? Why not?
I was like, because I said, this is my first time. And there's so much responsibility, I think, to be true to the text,
it
right?
Could be a Star is Born.
But this is what it is. It's important for you to be true to the text. I got that responsibility.
Yeah.
And then to make sure I am ministering to the people. That's a whole lot, right? And giving God my best, making sure he's pleased. I don't want to have to make you guys respond. You know, I don't want to be distracted. But I was just like,
saying.
Just let me get through this one.
Yeah.
Your energy is so great, and so you watch. So now when I speak to people,
because it's completely not about like I can get away with it when I'm doing motivational speaking.
Oh, because they may not know the text, right?
Not just that. Because it's not about, I'm doing this for him.
Yeah.
It's to his glory.
You'll be fine.
So he can be exalted. It's not about me. And then that someone in the audience may hear something that's life-changing.
Yeah.
It's like having a baby or something. That's why I ain't got no kids. The responsibility is way too great. Look. When someone told me, when I first realized the whole baby thing, that means when I get up, she get up.
Yeah.
I mean, when I eat, she got to eat.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this kid may starve to death. I tell it's a running joke. I would babysit for you because I love kids.
Right.
But I need to
go.
It's bigger than that. I need to babysit with you being there.
Yeah.
So you could be in the just take your break in the next room just in case I need you for something. I just be sure.
Oh my
but look, it can be cool. You could be in the house taking your bath, and I'm in the living room with the baby.
Yeah.
You just got to be around.
Just don't leave, because I don't know what's going to happen if you leave. But it is a big responsibility.
It's a big responsibility
to be a parent. Because when they leave, and I was telling somebody the other day.
Listen, for 18 years and then some.
Yeah, and even past that, because I know
babies.
when my nephews leave out the house, they got an auntie and a mama, and I know they must like, oh Lord.
Yeah.
So they'll leave. It's like, okay, you're supposed to be here. Yeah. I'll come in. It's like, where's Trenton? Why is he not here?
Yeah.
Where? And she goes, oh yeah, wait, where's Travis? Oh wait, okay, can you check the GPS to see where they are?
Absolutely. And my hat goes off to these women who are having multiple babies. One, I'm like, are you serious? But listen, I heard something. This is when I got peace with, okay, I may not have children. Because not only am I afraid of the responsibility, I'm also afraid of how we have them. Okay. I'm kind of upset with Eve. I'm kind of really upset with her.
Wow.
She just really messed up everybody. Because it's because of her that we have it's pain in childbirth.
It's painful with childbirth.
But I heard a guy talk. His name is Pratchard is his last name. He wrote a book on having children and on parenting. And he came to our church. It's one reason why I love my church. I fellowship at Mount Sinai Missionary Baptist Church on 54th off of Crenshaw, right on the corner of Western Dean. George E. Hurt is my pastor. Love him. One of the reasons why I love my church is because we do a lot of book study. We are reading through the book of Luke this month, and it's phenomenal as a church. But this man talked about the responsibility of being a parent and raising kids, and then he talked about how he raised kids. So he raised 2 boys. One of us is a doctor, and I believe one of us is a lawyer, and they're both in ministry. But he was like, when he raised his kids, he put stickies on the refrigerator, their height, biblical scripture. And he was always planting in or watering in their life small seeds that they had no clue. Mm-hmm. And look what they grew up to be. Doctors and lawyers and in ministry. One of them is doing missionary work, and the other one is actually pastoring the church. My thoughts was, if I can't do that, I don't want to do it. If I can't do it right.
Yeah, but there is no right and wrong.
That's what I was just saying.
No.
Each person, there's a different right.
It is a different right.
Well, whatever right is for you, and rights for me is raising a doctor, lawyer, minister, and missionaries.
But there are women who have to figure out how to make that balance, because a lot of women that work. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember when Mona, my sister, she was in mortgage banking when the boys were born. Yeah. And it really, truly is about a partnership, because Mona worked to 10, 11 o'clock at night. My mom kept the boys in the morning all day, and they went to school. And then her husband would pick the boys up from school, bring them home, get dinner, and get them bathed, and by the time she came home, they were just getting ready to go to bed. Mm-hmm. So she had a partnership. But just think of women who have to work, have to be the breadwinner, the man and the woman, and then get their children out and make sure going like, okay, are they going to be normal human beings? Right. Because, the guilt of not being there. Yeah. And so there are a lot of women. Yeah. I have a lot of girls where pretty much none of my close, immediate one has children.
Really?
Most of us did not have kids. Now, I didn't have kids mainly because I spent my time training and helping other people's children. Okay. And so if I had to stop to have kids, then the difference and the impact that I made on the kids that I was mentoring would have been totally different. So obviously that was God's purpose for me. And then I had my niece.
Was his purpose. It's still your purpose. We got work to do.
Yeah.
Because I love babies.
Yeah. So you give back. So I've had many parents send me Mother's Day cards because they felt that their kids would not have made it through their adolescent years if they had not been involved in a program of mine. Mm-hmm. So for years I got Mother's Day cards thinking that I didn't do this by myself. I did this with you. So, and then I had a niece. I raised her when she was a baby, when she was here from infancy to 5. And then my sister.
See, that's your contribution.
Yeah.
Because maybe if you're a mom, your focus will be somewhere else. And
it would be.
Get to do all of these things.
I wouldn't have, because I would have had. I couldn't do what I do and have taken care of my own children. Would have been neglected.
And see, that's probably part of the reason why I didn't have kids either, because I was focused on career.
You don't have children either? Mm-hmm. So none of us have kids. What's wrong with this show? We got issues, y'all. None of us on the show have babies. This is just crazy. And we want to blame, no, we got issues. We can't even keep, let's be honest, you ain't got no boyfriend, girlfriend, we can't even keep relationships. we over here doing the show. We need counseling. Where's our relationship? They already know I'm single. I say it every week. We need a relationships counselor on this show. I think we need to do a dating game. No, we just need Jesus. Let's pray. Let's pray.
I'll be all right when I hit my goals on money. That's when I'll be all right. Right. I'll take out time for that.
Then men will start looking better to you. Right now, that's what I said.
Right now, I can't focus because I got.
So this thing with me and having a husband is I just have fun. I like to have fun. I don't have man issues. I don't mean to say it like that, but okay. So I don't. But right now I want to work. I love working. I want to work.
All of us love working
for a moment. It's not that I'm selfish. I just believe. You know what? I never wanted to get married because I needed somebody to. This is true. I never wanted to get married because I needed somebody to fix my life. I believe I serve a God that can do anything. That's what this word says. He can do exceedingly abundantly above anything I think or imagine. He owns all this. He can give me a little bit.
See, this is all material for Sunday right
Yeah.
there.
See, already she practiced.
Are you guys coming?
You're going to be awesome.
We don't know. We're going to trust God.
Yeah, you're going to be
God's
awesome.
going to do what he's going to do on Sunday. I'm just saying, I never wanted a man to come in and fix my life. I wanted to have things. I think it's attractive to see a woman having her own stuff, life together, her own money, just doing her own thing.
Yeah.
That's attractive. That's a good look.
But let me ask
And then
this
the man
as a
comes
man,
in. Yeah.
because usually that's a male's opinion that they don't get married if they don't feel that their career is where it's supposed to be,
Right.
their money is where it's supposed
Right.
to be, that they don't feel that they can come in raw. Is that true?
That's true.
That's
That's
true.
true.
Y'all should feel like that because y'all the breadwinners.
The last thing a man wants is to be in a relationship where he feels useless.
Ah.
So he sees things going on with his wife or his kids, and he can't do anything about
Right.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, and when I was in my career field, trying to get that money that I needed, at one point I wanted like $100,000 a year. I wasn't getting that. I was at 57. So I'm going, I still need to work some more. I still need to do this. And then you keep doing that every year.
Yeah, and then you get past the time.
You get past the
frame.
time.
Yeah.
It's like, before you know it, you're 60. You're going,
Yeah, I have a birthday coming
Yes, she does.
when?
in 11 days, and I've been doing some birthday jumps. Did you see my birthday jump today?
No.
Getting ready. I said, hello, March. Getting ready for the, yes.
She's been doing
I'll be
some-
26. Hey.
You've been doing some double back burpees.
Oh, my
Thank
Lord.
God they haven't come into the gym where we are.
I want y'all to keep watching because I'm about to hit a backflip in a minute. Yep.
But it's interesting that but in other countries, and maybe they have the right opinion, because in other countries the parents take that responsibility and they'll match, like in India and China, they'll go out and find the husband or a wife for their children because they believe that there should be balance.
Okay, so let me tell you my story. Okay. A couple of weeks, last week, a young man at the gym asked to meet with me. And I was like, okay, I'm thinking he wants to train, right? So I'm like, okay, fine. So we meet. He meets me for breakfast, and I'm ready to talk to him about training. And in walks his mother.
Uh-oh.
So,
His mom?
His mom.
So the mom is going to make the decision.
She sits down at the table, and they proceed to ask me to be she wants to meet my family in Cleveland. Now, I've never dated this man.
Ooh.
He said, you're a single woman, and you need a covering. And I don't even know if they talk about that in the Bible. I was like, somebody else trying to cover me. I wish I was there to watch you speak so I can cover you. Hey, really? So he wants me to, he already has five wives.
What? 5
Muslim.
active wives? 5 active wives?
Yes. And he wanted me to join.
To be the 6th one?
Yes.
Oh.
And she wanted to go. She wanted to fly to Cleveland, and I believe she was taking some money to my family.
She was going to pay a dowry for you?
He's from Africa. They're Muslim, right?
Uh-huh.
He was going to take some money to my family, and it's supposed to. I don't know how the whole thing goes, but she goes down and talk, and they talk, and I'm like, look, I'm 26. I'm not a kid, so this is what I'm saying in my head.
Yeah.
She really wanted to meet. She said, my son loves you. He wants you to join his family. He has enough money to take care of you and his other wives. And I was like,
Other wives?
he had five other ones. Wow. I wanted to know how this worked. You do it, but like.
What day of the week do you get?
That no, yes. Well, we're all
Saturday
the
or
same place.
Sunday?
So you just. I don't want to really say that, but I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be sharing you with 5 other women. Is it like that?
Yeah.
I said to her, well, I'm flattered, but I have to decline. For one, I'm getting married for love. Because when the money runs dry, and I know y'all laughing at me and think that's crazy. There's something about you I gotta like when the money runs dry. Because there's a moment in time, it will happen. You're gonna have a hiccup in your finances. Things are gonna be a little challenging. And I still need to come home and look at you and be like, hey, I still desire you.
Yeah.
But in those kind of arrangements, it's not. It really isn't that.
It's about making an arrangement. But those are the marriages that last forever. And guess what? There was another guy asked me maybe like 2 or 3 months I had 2 other proposals. 1, 2 or 3 months ago, he came into the gym with his wife.
Oh.
With his wife.
So,
and then the 3 of them, I said, so it's going to be the 3 of us?
So they're scoping you out.
They checking me out. They coming for me, baby. If anybody's interested in marrying me, come on, hurry up, because they coming after me.
They're bringing their mother.
It's only so much I'm getting weak.
They bringing their mommies to come get you, girl.
I'm growing weary. This is my message for Sunday.
With that being said, we're at the bottom of the hour. We definitely got to take a break from this.
Wow.
Help us, sister.
Give us a call if you want to help the sister.
Charlene.
The number is 323-293-3375. You're on the Business Zone with
Crystal.
Dawn. They're laughing at me.
Oh,
They're
let's
coming
take a break.
after me. Help.
Okay.
Small businesses spend more than $500 million each year combined trying to find missing or replace missing paperwork. Hey, small businesses, are you tired of losing out on business opportunities because your paperwork is not in order? And don't you hate having to register in multiple websites just to find a single procurement opportunity that may not even be worth your time? Well, worry no more. Small Biz Pro is the solution to your problems. Small Biz Pro is an all-in-one cloud-based business management, compliance, and procurement assistance software platform that keeps small businesses organized, contract-ready, bank loan-ready, with quick access to procurement opportunities, as well as market research data. Here are some of the features and benefits that you receive when you use Small Biz Pro to run your business daily. Superior record keeping at your fingertips, back office management and compliance, quick access to bids and procurement opportunities in government databases. It allows you to conduct easy market research and gather industry statistics, government certification preparedness and compliance checklists, easy HR and general operations management functionality, bank loan readiness preparation and cash flow management, certified payroll and labor compliance reporting, business dictionary with defined business terms, a cloud-based business management platform that keeps small businesses organized and ready, even nonprofits, business documents securely stored in the cloud, data fully encrypted and protected by triple firewall reinforcements, on-the-spot document retrieval for quick decision-making, bank-level data security for compliance, document expiration alerts and advanced notifications. It uses security restrictions to block out unauthorized users, and much more. Try it out today for only $5 for the first 30 days. What are you waiting for? Go to www.smallbizpro.net and register now, or your competitors will. Small Biz Pro, keeping small businesses organized, business ready, and contract ready.
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal.
Dawn.
He's giving them the address.
Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And Crystal has some really, really good tips for us today in terms of making money. 2019 is all about making money, being self-sufficient, and being that business owner that you're trying to be. So Crystal has some great tips.
So one of the things we want to do is, first thing we want to do is get out of debt.
Yes.
Especially if you have any aspirations to buy homes, if you need a new car, save up for your retirement. I think at a certain age, you know, especially if you work for yourself, that's something I the other day when I did the accounting class, I had Tanya Mackey come in and talk to my class about ways to save money and ways to prepare for your retirement. Because as an entrepreneur, it's not like you're paying into your Social Security and right. all. Yeah, I mean, you're doing your once a year deposit, but basically it's up to you to prepare your retirement. Because when you think about it, we gotta retire at some point. But we got to be able to have money to do that, right? So you want to be able to make money, you want to save money, and you want to pay off all debt. And sometimes it will take some sacrificing. But I'm going to give you some passive income ideas that make money in your sleep.
That's
The
right.
other day when I got my, I'm on my affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
So I got all this week I've been getting, you have money.
That's
you
right.
have money.
That's
It's
what
an
we're talking
amazing
about.
feeling
Yes.
to for an affiliate. Somebody purchases something and they're using your link,
Yeah.
and you wake up in the morning. And so I got my first deposit
Beautiful.
in my PayPal account from my Bluehost affiliate. It
Beautiful.
felt really good. Another
Beautiful.
stream. So here's some of the ways you can make money. Invest in crowd-funded real estate. And crowd-funded real estate is, well, first of all, real estate by itself is a great way to make money.
Yeah.
But there are some, obviously, downsides to it because you're maintaining property. Right. But crowdfunding is you're investing in a platform, crowdfunding platform to invest in real estate, and it can be a pretty affordable option because you're not coming in at major down payments.
So tell us a little bit about the crowdfunding real estate. What type of real estate is classified as crowdfunding?
So I think if it's like student housing, an REIT, where you're investing into a pool of money and then you're going out with a group of people to purchase. And in some cases, that's how you could get into commercial real estate. Okay. People that you trust, and you're involved in an investment club, and then those group of people, you're being able to buy a building, and then at some point through your dividends, you can come out and then be able to buy your first piece of property.
So is there a limit to the number of people who can be in that crowdfunding program?
It says here that you can get started with $500 and you can invest in more than 48 real estate products through real estate investment trust. So I guess it depends on the size and where you're buying your property.
It's amazing. I've been around the block for a while now, and I never heard about this type of program or even thought about something like this.
I know, huh?
So, $500 and you're in?
You're in. So the 15 best crowdfunding real estate sites is Fundraise, and they, unlike the other crowdfunding platforms, investors are welcome from all 50 states. You only need to invest $500 to create your starter portfolio. Fundraise, invest your money in a basket of commercial and residential properties located across the United States. The current properties types include apartment development and renovations.
That's better than timeshare.
It is.
Much better than the timeshare, because the timeshare you're paying every month and you don't even see anything.
Right, and you may not even be able to travel to get to the timeshare.
Exactly.
Here, rent stabilized apartment buildings, home construction, and commercial developments. The annual dividend for the Fundraise starter portfolio as of August 20th is 6.7%. That's better than a savings account.
Yes.
And when your account reaches $1,000, you can begin investing in advanced plans that focus on local geographical areas like Los Angeles and Washington, D.C. And this creates supplemental income and balancing investment and long-term growth.
Wow.
So there's about 15 others. So you guys can go search crowdfunding REIT, which is real estate investment
Well, you know
trust.
what I'm thinking here, Crystal? With this information here that you're disseminating right now, we probably should be learning this like 25, 30 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I mean? Because think about it. If we're putting $500 a month into a program like this for 25 years, just like we would a timeshare.
Right. You would have made money.
Phenomenally.
Exactly. So and more so than if you were putting your money in a savings account or a CD.
You should do workshops on it.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to look into that.
Yeah.
So now we're going to jump to obviously dividend income, which is from investments in stocks and so forth. And right now, the cannabis industry is really booming, and even if it's not the cannabis part, but the hemp and the CBD.
Have you ever smoked reefer?
Not at all.
Tell the truth.
No. No, I'm already hyper.
I got you on tape.
and excitable. I don't need to have any
Have you ever
extra
smoked reefer?
Never.
No.
Never.
No, I never
I've
need
never smoked reefer either.
And even though I'm Jamaican, I've never.
Yeah, that's a Bob Marley thing.
Never.
There's songs about that.
Yeah, exactly.
But one of the things is being able to invest in the stock market.
Yeah. Right.
And if it's, you're well thought out, and obviously you have to learn what you're doing so that but there are a lot of people that have become extremely wealthy in the stock market.
So let's say you have a class of entrepreneurs who's been thinking about getting involved in the stock market. What would you tell them that would make them feel like this would be a good venture for them?
Well, I think from everything that I've learned, and I've actually gone to a couple of workshops, first of all, it's long term. So and just like anything, even real estate, up and down. I mean, you own property, up and down, right? The values go up and down depending. So you're not thinking of it happening overnight unless you happen to have purchased your Facebook stock, and all of a sudden they go public. Because you can buy your penny stock, and they go public. And there are billionaires that came out. And I read something just recently on Facebook that in San Francisco, it was about real estate market in San Francisco. The individuals that work for the other silicone companies and the other tech companies, they were rushing to buy their homes because they knew soon as Facebook went public, they would not be able to afford any property in San Francisco because it was going to shoot up because the whole company, they all became millionaires because they all had stock options. And so I would say, one, you want to do your research. Right now, when there's what they call a bear market, you buy low and you sell high, and that really is how you do it. But even if you're doing that, you have to do significant, maybe $1,000 worth of to purchase stock, depending on if you're buying penny stock and it's $1 and you get $1,000, spend $1,000. You got some, and you just let it sit there and marinate, and then eventually it will pay off for you. So I have some stock right now. I have some client of mine that in lieu of payment, I took stock, and they're now just
what type of company?
They're a public company, but they're investing in cannabis companies. So they got the CBD water that's about to go off.
That's another thing that we can invest in because it's on the rise.
I know.
And
you sure you ain't smoking?
I'm sure. I'm going to reap the benefits on the other side of it. But yeah, so they have an amazing. He finally hit on the right product. And he got like 3 or 4 different brands, so it's going to be good.
So you're not going to invite us into this cannabis stuff?
Yeah, as soon as he tells me that it's ready to go for everybody, I will tell all of you. It's still low enough. Right now, it's like $8 a share.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
We can't get it right now. Okay, so you give me the information so I can don't be stingy.
I'll give you both the information.
If we come up with you, then we can own this place. We can own this studio. No, we don't want to take it from her, but you know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, I'll give you guys the information.
You need a lot of money. Not
so
just
the next one is peer-to-peer lending, which I think one of the things I envision about the digital marketing workshops and classes and helping these individuals create multiple streams of income. I'm thinking, and I've already started planting the seed, that's significant money. If you're making $20,000, $30,000 a month in multiple resources, that we could invest into a pool where we could then invest into our startup businesses, because there's no money for startup businesses. And at the same time, being able to evaluate that it's a good business and that it's feasible and that it has some longevity, and be able to provide business loans to those individuals like they do in the other communities. So that would be your peer-to-peer lending. So that, especially in our space, because how many times you run across a really good business idea and they just don't have the resources. Right. So
and the bank won't even touch them.
And the bank won't be able to touch them. So those are your you got to open a high yield account and get out of debt, obviously, is how you save money. Now, these areas, we can actually do this. Write a book. And be able to sell that book, and then you use that in your digital marketing and your content, because you got tons of content, right? Yeah. And be able to make money.
I've been sitting on this money and not even cashing it. Right?
This one might not be to your liking because you're in a condo apartment, but rent out a room in your home, Airbnbs. People are making millions of dollars. But be able to buy a property where maybe not in your home where you're living, but you can invest in some Airbnb property. Affiliate marketing. Right now, there are people making $50,000 and more a month on their affiliate marketing. For those of you that don't know what that is you're utilizing your website or your blog site and you're deriving multiple streams of income from ads, affiliate marketing, sponsorship, your own products, and your membership. And that's the 5 ways you make money. And there are people making huge amounts of money. Create a lead generation website. And that is... how
do you do that?
Lead generator exists to give referrals to local businesses.
Give referrals.
Yeah. So
you generate leads for other companies.
For other companies, and you get paid for that. I mean, look at what you do.
Yeah.
Think about the contract industry and being able to give them leads to the RFPs, because remember, that's the biggest issue. They don't know where to go. Yeah, and they'll pay you for that.
That's a good point.
Sell products on Amazon. That would be your books or what have you. Cashback earnings with reward shopping sites. There are a lot of them. Ebates is one of them that I hear people are making pretty good money at. Create an online store with drop shipping for those that are in that. This is my next endeavor right here. Create online courses and then sell your courses. And so there are people making 6 figures in this space as well. Create YouTube videos. You don't make a whole lot of money without the other components, which would be your blog site and so forth.
When you do videos?
But yeah, because
that's not true. YouTube videos, nephew Tommy gets a $50,000 check off his YouTube 3-minute commercial. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so with YouTube videos, you have your own station and you monetize it.
Right.
And based on your and it's not about one video getting a whole bunch of hits.
You can have multiple.
You can have 3 videos, and between the 3, you pass over a certain amount, and you start getting a check, because then they start putting commercials on your stuff, and you're able to
monetize it, right?
So yes, he has 2 sites. One site he has about 50, and don't even mean to tell his business like that, but I had to correct you because it hit a nerve. One day when he told me, he was like, "Oh, my website is my wife's shopping money." And then he said his YouTube page was a down payment on one of his cars. Yeah. I was like, and the car was a Rolls Royce, so the down payment was big. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. And then he had to sue a guy because there was a guy putting up his videos, making more money than him.
Yeah, that's why they.
So he's in the process of suing it.
We could actually right now I just gotta fix the website to do the ad, because it's all coming through AdSense on YouTube, and the BusinessZone could actually be making money. Buy vending machines. My aunt did this. They have vending machines in like colleges and places where there are a large congregation of people and no restaurants nearby.
So these are solutions that are right in front of our face, but we're just looking by.
Right, exactly.
License your photo. Say that again.
License your photo. So if you're a photographer or you like taking pictures, then the stock photos that you use, the stock. And I told Zarian that the other day.
I told him too. But
and here's a marketplace for those of us that are African American. There is not there's not an abundance of stock photos that represent us.
No, that is so true.
So if you're a photographer and you're taking still shots, and so you can actually license those, and people are paying you royalties for those pictures.
I need to start looking at that.
Yeah, because that's a good one, because it's business. Create a mobile app. For instance, every app on the phone is making money for somebody. For instance, this guy named Joel Calm made over $1 million from his iFart app.
Jeez.
I'm done. iFart. He made how much?
$1 million.
And look, it ain't about the idea.
It's not.
It ain't got to be like
There's a marketplace.
What? Tell me about this app.
I've never seen it.
Can you take a minute and look this up? What does it do?
It probably makes.
Oh, I heard about this.
Right.
These guys were literally passing gas.
Yeah, so he makes $1 million on that because there's somebody to buy it. There's always a buyer. I know, ridiculous. Yeah. Rent your car.
That hurts my feelings.
I know. Rent your car for ad space. So there's some people that are actually doing this. I wouldn't do that with my car, but for somebody that
Have
don't
you ever
really
see me right down? We got an ad on side. You know things is wrong.
Yeah, put an ad on, but you see that all the time, right? Buy an existing online business. So that's something to do with your money after you start making your $1 million. I've always thought this and
hey, look, Najuma jumped on. She's late.
Laughing.
We just talked about your Sunday, Najuma. We'll be there. You guys are coming?
Well, yeah, I'm going to try it. Yes.
I thought you were taking
9 o'clock, right? 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. Now, I've always thought this business, there's two businesses that I know are cash cows. Laundromats.
Yes.
In an area where everybody's living in an apartment building, and there's never enough washers in an apartment building, so you're outside next door, and you have so many washers, and usually the overhead, the maintenance is not that bad. Yeah. But I know for a personal fact, a drive-through car wash is like a cash cow. It literally only costs you, the ones that you go in for 8 minutes or 6 minutes. Yeah. So you pay a maintenance contract, and because I used to manage the books for a gas station that had a car wash. Yeah. Literally on the weekends, the car wash would make over $20,000.
Wow, a month?
Every weekend.
Wow.
Because we're in California. And it's sunny all the time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the maintenance contract is about a couple $1,000s a month, and then you buy soap. So at best, your expenses, and you got your insurance and so forth, but your expenses is about $3,000.
That is darn good.
So next time you guys drive by an automatic car wash.
What's the startup cost?
The startup cost, if you got to purchase, you probably are spending the equipment and buy that. So I would probably say about a 20, you buy a lot, and I would say maybe you're putting in about $125,000. And then after that, but look how fast you'll reap that back.
Yes.
By 2 years, you're in the black.
Wow. I need a copy of these.
Opening a batting cage for those that are in baseball. Product design for some people who like, passive income, developing or designing T-shirts and other products that with no prior design skills, and allows you to upload your ideas. You do that on Instagram or Pinterest, and right now there's a lot of T-shirts with black sayings and black power and that kind of stuff. So that's a good stuff. Let me see. Rent your stuff. Rent ladders, party tents, tables and chairs, utility trailers, Did it say vending machines? Was I typing when you said that?
Yeah.
So a girlfriend of mine has a vending machine. She has two, and one is in the school, and one is in a workplace. And the one that's in the school, she has healthy food in it, and she gets about $800 something a week from that. And the one that's in the workplace, she gets about $1,200 a week, and she says it's great.
Yeah, I think vending machines is a great little investment.
And she was getting vending machines. She started by looking up the industry for a friend, and they didn't do it. And she was like, "Oh, let me go buy one." She bought one for like $2,500, and it was an old one, and she said it was life changing.
I wonder where I could put it.
So you just ask.
Yeah, you would look at places that, let's say,
like a gym.
Recreational center if they don't have any. A lot of times they do
lots of traffic
and no, like you have a large number of kids, and they're like recreational centers, and there's no food outside.
I've been thinking about not the laundromat, but the machines.
Yes, the machines.
Because at my place, we need machines.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, could I bring it in as a homeowner?
And laundry machines are becoming very creative. Now they have a little, you can do it from your cell phone. Yeah. You can pay your laundry money from your cell. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Oh, no. So that way you don't need any money? Plugs in or all that.
So if you live in the place, I went over to a girlfriend's house. She was washing. I was like, what are you doing? She was paying this attached to her cell phone. And all she did was put no money in it. I said, and they're beautiful. So they're becoming a very
yeah, you have to get creative. You know, got new complexes. You look at all these new buildings that are coming up, and even if there is a laundry in the building, even if you do a laundry next door, because usually it's only like 5 or 6 machines, and you got an entire apartment building living. And I hate it when I lived in an apartment building and we actually had to do laundry. There were a number of people that did labor, and they worked in restaurants. Yeah. And every time you'd go wash your clothes, it would be all greasy. So I stopped washing my clothes in the building. Yeah. That was one of the first things when I got my own place, and I had a laundry hookup. Oh, it was heaven to have your own laundry, because one does not realize how beautiful that is when you have to do outside.
I'm gonna check it out.
So there you go, 25, and that's just some of them.
You send me that so I can.
So you're gonna look at some stuff to invest in, because we gotta create other forms, other passive income streams outside of what we do for a living. Yeah. That is.
I'm just gonna get a husband. It's easier.
Yeah, right. No,
I'm gonna let you do all of that. Yes, his income gonna be passive because he gonna work a job and he gonna come home and give me that check every week. That easy, and I'm gonna be passively handing a hand out. He gonna be passively giving me his check. I'm just gonna get a husband.
That's passive, huh? Yeah, right. Maybe the fella with the 5 wives.
Yes, because he gonna have to pay me to be in this relationship for other women.
I'm gonna make mine the other way. You gonna make yours another way.
He gonna have to pay me to stay in this thing. I'm gonna share you. Yeah, He gonna give me your check passively every week.
We got 5 minutes before the hour. So, Crystal, did you want to?
Yes, I want to. I have a class coming up March 4th through April 1st. It is a Learn QuickBooks Essential class taught by me. I am the only in this area certified QuickBooks trainer. And
let's just say that again. You're the what?
I am the only one in this particular area where we are certified to teach QuickBooks.
You hear that, Facebook?
You hear that, guys? Actually, Zero called me and asked me would I become a certified.
How did they know about you?
They're watching me, and I called them a long time ago, and they're watching me online.
Oh, very nice.
And asked me to become a certified. So I'm going to be certified with them, and then they're going to help me build the clientele and with their materials.
Who called you?
Zero.
I'm going to get you to become the certified person for bookkeeper also.
Okay. Yeah.
So there, you see what I'm saying? And then you can
leave my bestie alone.
So I have this class. It's a 6-week class. It is hands-on training. I'll teach you how to use QuickBooks using from basic. You'll learn how to set up your own company. We will use practice sets. It's tax season, guys, and you really, truly have to be diligent about maintaining your books. So in order to make sure you you're not paying money unnecessarily to Uncle Sam.
How long does it take to set up a company?
What, a company? Oh, it only takes a few minutes to set up. Yeah.
Why don't we do a video on that?
Actually.
Put it online.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people would like to know that. Maybe that's the only part they want to know. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I could do that. But they do need to know a little bit more, a little bit stuff more. But if you're interested in the class, it's $149 for the entire 6 weeks, which is nothing.
That's not bad.
That's next to nothing. And it is from 6 o'clock in the evening to 8 o'clock. It is being hosted and held at 4401 Crenshaw Boulevard at the Los Angeles Urban League. And you can get your software for your desktop for $149. That is almost a $50 discount for your actual QuickBooks software for your desktop.
So they have to purchase it through you.
You have to purchase it through me. I'm a Amazon affiliate partner. So if you're interested, reach out to me at 323-906-7004, and I can send you the flyer with the registration information. Class starts on March 4th, which is Monday, actually. So
From what time?
From 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock for the next 6 weeks.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
What you got
may
going
be there,
on?
But I need to borrow the 149.
Well, we're getting ready for our second series of workshops with Vermont Slauson. The previous one we just did, we're getting ready to do the graduation for that.
Okay.
And that's going to be on March 19th. So we're going to team up with the county
Oh,
to
good.
do that, so we can start building partnership leverage and get partnership credits.
Oh, good.
So that's the kind of thing we're doing. I can't think of anything else, but we got a minute to go. So.
Right. And Miss Dawn is delivering her message at the Word of Life.
The Word of Encouragement Church,
Church.
1159 Valencia Street at 8:50 a.m. Sunday.
All righty.
God.
So,
And you're
guys.
ready.
And
Yes.
she's ready.
You ready?
You all heard a little bit of it. There's a little bit of sampling if you were listening today. And so go on. Everybody needs to go over there. The church needs to be bubbling over. Uh-oh.
Crystal, what pressure?
But anyway, we had a great time. We've talked about Women's History Month,
Yes.
which is going to be for the next month. We got some amazing guests coming in this month that are going to be talking about the things that they're doing. We gave you some ideas for passive income. You guys need to just step up the game, make your mantra, I'm going to make money. Not just from what I do for a living, but passively as well.
And Crystal is going to send me that list of opportunities so I can take a look at them.
Right.
All right.
All righty. It's been a great 2 hours. It went by super, super fast.
It went by really fast.
And we will see you guys all next week. Have a fantastic weekend. And we'll see you next Friday.
Just remember, for those of you just tuning in at the tail end of the show, this is the Business Zone. And what the Business Zone does, it brings entrepreneurship, supply diversity, business owners, and opportunities together so you guys can be successful. Crystal and I are a certified trainer. We're a professional coach. We call ourselves super coaches. So if you need help or assistance, you reach out to us.
Exactly. And it's fun to be an entrepreneur, right, ladies?
Oh,
guys?
I can't think of life any other
I love
way.
being an entrepreneur. You?
I
And the more money you make, the better it gets because you get to wake up when you finish sleeping.
Yeah, it's awesome. So if you're contemplating it, guys, it's the best decision that
I gave
I've
the wrong
ever
address. It's 1153.
made. Yes.
1153. Correction. Sorry about that.
All righty, guys. So we will see you next week.
Next
Have
Friday
a great
from
week.
3 to 5.
From 3 to 5. See you on Sunday.
All righty.
We're
Bye-bye.
out.
See you Sunday.
As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Got my capability statement, yes, I'm ready to go. Got my balance sheet, my P&L, my statement of cash flow. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.